All right, now for what firewood has done for me. So if you don't know the story, I haven't done firewood all my life like most of the woodhounds seem to have done. I didn't really learn firewood from my grandparents or my dad. We cut some trees down, we farmed, cut some trees down, but it was never more than that. I had a fireplace at my first house that I bought, and I cut and split a little bit of wood, but I didn't know what I was doing. And it wasn't until we moved out to the house we have now that I had some room, and we were having my wife was like 8 months pregnant or something when things shut down for COVID. And, you know, firewood gave me some financial stability through that. Prices were going crazy. I don't know if you can remember it, but once things shut down, the baby formula shortages were pretty scary at times. And I'm guessing most babies were kind of picky. We tried several times. We found formula, but it wasn't the right stuff, and it wasn't fun. So firewood, I started doing firewood for somebody else during COVID, and that gave me the financial backing that I needed. Really, I always had cash in my pocket, so that if I found formula, I could buy it. I knew my son was taken care of. So that was the number one thing that firewood did for me. That got us through that. Very helpful when prices were going crazy on everything, but that formula was a pretty scary situation. So, all right. So the second thing that I would say that firewood has done for me is really it's given me some therapy. I really noticed it last year when one of my absolute best friends since elementary school passed away, and I found myself just zoning out, and splitting wood was really helpful to me. And I think Phil over at Allen Family Firewood, after I did a video about woodyard therapy, he realized it too, or did one when they lost their dog. And I don't know if it's my farming background and working hard and whatever, but I find that really soothes me. I use that even when I'm having a tough day with the kids, or when I'm having a tough time with the wife, or just a tough time at work. All I want to do is come home and either run chainsaws or run the wood splitter and kind of ease the tension. That's something I really truly look forward to doing. And so that's number two. And number three is more of a YouTube thing. The firewood got me into YouTube, and really my initial reason for getting into the YouTube was to give back. I learned a lot from YouTube, or I've learned a lot from YouTube on a lot of things, but when I was getting into firewood and starting to split during COVID, I watched a lot of YouTube videos of you guys to learn what I was doing, what I was looking for, and how to increase production. I wanted to make as much money as I could, right? So I learned, and my main reason for starting the YouTube channel was that I had learned enough to start, and I wanted to show that to others, and hopefully somebody could learn something from me and how I set up my process and the equipment I have. So that led to something else though. And me growing up on a farm, I hardly ever go anywhere. We take 1 week a year and go 3 hours north, and that's about as far as I ever get. And I find myself on YouTube talking to people from all over the country. But I talked to Russ, who has Willie's Firewood out in Maine, Phil and Karen out in Maine. Bill Irwin is really active in the chats. I like talking to him in the chats and stuff. I think we'd get along great if we ever met in person, and maybe someday that'll happen. And he's in South Carolina, I think. And Al up at Club Dora, Outdoors and Firewood. He's up in northern Minnesota. Talked to him, email with him, and he stopped out on his way back from Hoosier Firewood Hysteria. And these are people that I would never have met any other way. A couple weeks ago, you guys saw that I had the collaboration with Craig from Craig's Cords to Coals, and he's only an hour and a half away from me or something. But if it wasn't for this YouTube thing, I don't know that we'd ever met. And we're pretty good friends now. We talk almost regularly, and I appreciate that. I truly appreciate that. So expanding my I don't even know what you want to call it, but just expanding my world to talking to these people in other parts of the country. Daniel Atkins, Travis does firewood out on the West Coast. Those guys in Maine out on the East Coast, and everything in between has really been cool. I find when I see weather going through or hurricanes rolling in or stuff, I like to check on these guys or ask them in the chats how they're doing. So it's given me a reason to follow that all over, and not just in my little area of the world. So I guess those are the three things that firewood has done for me. I guess if this is going to continue, I probably need to nominate somebody. So I mentioned Craig's Cords to Coals. So Craig, what has firewood done for you? And I think I'm going to go with Jeremiah at Outdoors in the 608. He's on, I didn't mention yet, but he's right up the road. And I have talked to him a few times now at events and stuff. But he's another one I would never have met, and I text back and forth with him, and he's been very helpful with things, and very open and honest about questions I have, and I appreciate it. I truly do. So Jeremiah, Outdoors in 608, Craig's Cords to Coals, what has firewood done for you? That'll be it for tonight and for this weekend. And I truly appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next one.